Back to the phone lines. We'll talk next to Susan. She's listening in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Hank. I'm sorry I'm not one of the cheery ones today, but I'm one of the Christians who's been experiencing soft persecution, or I guess it feels pretty much like an attack at my work. I'm an educator in a higher level of education, a professor. I'm a conservative Christian, and what you're telling people is absolutely true. I am always kind to people, no matter if they're a homosexual, or I have a colleague who has a transsexual daughter. I'm always kind to people, but they have just made my life so hell, and with the cooperation of my employer, I'm being forced out after being a professor for 10 years. And
Wow.
I have listened to your show daily, and it has sustained me. I got to thank you for that. But I just wanted to ask you, I mean, I'm in it. How do I sustain myself through it? I pray all the time. I do. I feel pretty lost, Hank.
Yeah. Well, let me just quote something, and this is not to be trite about your circumstance, but maybe it will be helpful, because you think of a guy like Charles Haddon Spurgeon. He's often called the Prince of Preachers. And he died at 57, had a very difficult life, even though he's history's most well-read preacher. So you think about that. When he was alive, he had gout, but he was also persecuted by fellow pastors because of his success. And so he had a lot of difficult times, and eventually, as I said, died at a fairly young age. And he had a quote, and I don't know if I've got it completely memorized, but it goes something like this: "Were you ever in the melting pot, dear friends? I have been there, and my sermons with me. The result of melting is that you're poured out into new and better fashion." And I think that ultimately, Susan, is the hope. You've gone through persecution, but that fire of persecution is going to pour you out in new and better fashion. And that's why we're told in Scripture, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse. We're also told, blessed, and this is Jesus speaking, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you on account of me. Rejoice, be glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. So what am I saying in all of that, Susan? I'm saying that you have to honestly, in these difficult times, take the long view, which is set your sights on eternal verities rather than mean earthly vanities. Life is a vapor, here today, gone tomorrow. Now, look, that's easy to say when you're not in the cauldron of persecution. It's much harder to say when you're in the midst of persecution. But there are so many Christian icons that have gone before us who have faced persecution, their eyes set on the prize. So there's a couple of things I would say. You're going through that cauldron, that storm. It's difficult, but God has a purpose in it, which is to say, we can quote the oft-repeated words of Paul, all things, even this persecution, all things work together for good to those who love the Lord and are the called according to his purposes. So now you have paid a price for your love and also for your life and for being an ambassador for Jesus Christ. You have paid a price. God is not going to leave you orphaned. He has closed a door to open another door. So the best is yet to come.
Thank you so much, Hank. Thank you so much. Those words are going to sustain me. I really, really appreciate it. And I really hope everyone listening knows to speak up, because it's real what you're talking about, and it's ugly. And just thank you so much again. I appreciate it.
Bless you, Susan. It was an honor to talk to you.